Hello, and we are back for the first episode of 2025 of the Oakwell Update. It's great to be back, isn't it, Callum?
It's absolutely fantastic to be back. And this week we're focusing on Donovan Pines. We have an exclusive interview with the big man as we're coming to almost a year of Donovan being a Barnsley player.
So let's jump straight in and hear what Donovan had to say when he caught up with Lewis from the Barnsley media team earlier this week. Take a look.
Donny, you've been at Barnsley Football Club now for nearly a year. Just talk us through that. You know, does it feel like you've been here a whole 12 months yet?
Yeah, it's been an incredible experience, just a roller coaster of, highs, lows, and, great experiences. It's really surreal to be in this moment right now and knowing that it's only been a year and so many things have happened, playing against, championship sides, Premier League sides, and, seeing them up close and personal, and, playing in England as it's been my dream. And, it's meeting the amazing players, coaches throughout, the building as well. So it's just been amazing,
Yeah. And before you came here, it was obviously a big challenge for you, a big new change, coming from DC, of course, and coming into the English game, a lot to sort of adjust to, not just the football, but lifestyle and the culture. How, just reflecting now, how big of a challenge was it for you, do you think?
I think definitely it was a culture shock from the get-go, and just learning, different, words, different, dialects with people and how people speak. Sometimes I would have to repeat them or ask them, can you repeat that again? And just getting understanding of what, they're saying. But at the end of the day, I adjusted, progressively and well to understand the culture. And, it's just really, really cool how I'm learning different things on the fly and just enjoying the experiences each and every day that the game brings.
Yeah, because you say it took a while to get adjusted, and it was a little sort of period of time before you started playing because, coming from America, you got sort of the off season, so you're just catching up a little bit. But once you came back in, it was right thrown into the mix right from the get-go.
Right, yeah. Just, I was really blessed to get the opportunity to play, here at such a, well-established club, in England. And I'm just really happy that I'm able to play as best as I can and help and contribute the best way that I can each and every day, as hopefully a leader, as a player, and as a, savant of the game, So just trying to understand and lead by example and try to help the younger guys understand the game and, get their best effort out of them every day so we can perform better on the field and for game day as well.
Before we move on to your footballing start, we've got a clip from your first ever interview on that settee right behind you there.
Oh, yeah.
Just whilst you watch it, give us your thoughts on what was going through your head and if you've got any reflections. Your first time playing in England, how much are you looking forward to that challenge?
I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a new, animal to take over and challenge over here. But I'm really, excited to test the waters. And it's always been my dream to play in Europe and play in England. So it's the first opportunity that I can, and hopefully it's a good one in the right direction. And just to provide stability in the back and hopefully get the team to promotion.
Does that feel strange sort of watching that now because you have sort of achieved your dream? You say you've played in England,
yeah,
and now you're a year older, a year wiser, and what's it like watching that back?
Hey, it's cool because I just see how I kind of said the same things and still consistently trying to be the best player I can be for the team, and that's always what I want to be. And enjoying the game that I'm here, and at the same time I keep saying I'm living my dream because anyone would give a arm and a leg to be in my position, so I want to give my best effort and be the best person I can be on and off the field. And of course always the goal is to reach new heights and get promotion and get to the next level. And so hopefully we can keep working as a team and see if we can achieve that, and it's really cool to see that and how I kind of still have the same mindset and still have the same goals and aspirations at the end of the day.
Yeah, and we'll move on to your debut then. It came against Fleetwood Town away, a tough match, tough conditions. You came on as a substitute. What was going through your mind, try and call back to that time? Just what was going through your mind when Neil, of course, at the time, called you over and said that you're going to be going into the pitch?
Yeah, I think I can remember it pretty vividly. I was really excited. I knew that Neil from before the game, he said, be ready to come in. And I said, okay. And when I heard my name called to get ready, I said, okay. And then I was so focused to get warm, get ready. And then I would, hear from my left ear, the crowd saying the USA chants. And one of my teammates, I think Barry Cotter, was like, "You hear that?" I'm like, "No, what are they saying?" And he's just like, "They're screaming USA, USA." And I was just like, "Oh shoot," because I'm so focused, getting ready. So, but yeah, I was just excited to just get on the field and do the best that I can. And I was really happy to perform well that day when I came in, and hopefully set a tone for games to come and more of what I can contribute on the field.
Yeah, let's just re-watch that moment now then. So we've got the clip from when you came on.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like you say, coming back on, the fans already had a chant for you. Probably one of the first players to have a chant before you even played
Correct.
a minute of football. But
Yeah.
as you say, and then straight into the action with a important clearance. I think. So you remember this one?
Oh yeah. That was like as soon as I came in the game. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's crazy. That was like a year ago, huh?
Yeah, I know. And just in terms of the support that you spoke before about this, the support the fans are giving you and how they've embraced you and the other players in the squad that have maybe not from England or from Barnsley, but just how much did it mean to you at that time, very new to the club and to the area, to have that support from so many people?
I think it's wonderful just to have a great, fan base and good supporter system. I mean, flying from, across the pond, and, you have other international guys as well, Mile, Fabio, and going to the team. You got to have that support system. And if the fans kind of back you and support you, then, that's another, drive to do better and do more for the club, because they know that you're going to contribute the best way possible, and they can see that you're a pivotal player for the team. So it's wonderful to have that back, having a backing like that, a supporter system that really cares about you and wants the best for you. And I hear that, every day if I walk into town, or everyone's like, "Hey, we appreciate you," or they say your name, and it's a good feeling to have. So that you're performing well, you're doing your best, and people see that you're contributing the best way possible.
Yeah, and when you came into the team, it was an instant impact. I think it was fair to say that you had, whether it was you or not, we can't definitively tell. But since you came into the team back in the back end of the 23-24 season, I think obviously the winning debut, and then I think it was 4 games on the trot we won, and you started all 4 games, or played in those 4 games, should I say, including Wycombe away, which I believe was your first goal. We've got a clip of it here, but just talk us through about the sort of the first few games. Just how did you sort of feel you settled? Because, like you say, you've been here a little while at this point, but you haven't played any competitive matches. How different was sort of playing on a Saturday afternoon compared to the training and the under-23s games? How different was that?
Yeah, it was the progressions and how it's the intensity. I think that's what I was looking at. So it's just, full throttle, go, really intense, just running back and forth. And I think that was what I was just transitioning towards, and knowing that there's always going to be someone breathing on your back, someone coming at you, the intensity of the press and all that. So it was getting used to playing that way, playing consistently in that way, and just getting used to that level. And that was more so how I had to adjust, to playing.
Yeah, so let's rewatch the first goal then. From a set piece, Lucas hands over it, so we'll start the clip.
I don't know if that was the one we equalized. Yeah, so I was super excited because, I scored, and then I was like, oh shoot, we have to equalize, we got to get another one, So we had to get the ball and, go again.
Yeah, so we've got, like you say, sort of muted celebrations because we're not winning, but you must be sort of really proud of that one.
Yeah, I was buzzing, but at the end of the day, I was like, oh, we got to, get back in this thing. That was a goal to tie it. And but of course for myself, it's a self win. It's really good that I can contribute, from both ends of the field, and hopefully knowing that I can do both and help the team in both ways is really good with me as a player and a person, my personality.
And another sort of change to coming to England was the sort of relentless fixture schedule. And you experienced it in your first sort of stint playing in England with the sort of run at the end of that season, and including, and unfortunately finishing with the Bolton game for that season for yourself, but we'll come on to that in a minute. But just the Bolton game, a huge occasion at Oakwell. What was it like to play in front of a full sort of Oakwell for the first time and experience that atmosphere? Because, as you say, you've not experienced that as yet, but what was it like after the Derby game and the Bolton game? What was those sort of atmospheres like to play in?
Yeah, I think the Bolton game was amazing. Just play under the lights at Oakwell, and just being amongst really good players, and the level was cool, and the intensity was high, and it was just amazing to just play in a game environment like that. I feel like we had so much to play for, and it was just the intensity was high, and it was just an incredible game to be a part of, and also scoring in it was just a blessing within itself. So, and I know I got injured that game, but I was able to contribute the best way I possibly could, and we were able to get a tie in that game to hopefully get us to the playoffs.
Yeah, you mentioned a goal. Be rude not to watch it back. I don't think an unbelievable finish, but we'll
I don't know how I did that.
We'll take a look. There you go.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I seriously don't know how I did that. I think in the moment I was in shock. I just stood there because I was like, "What just happened?" Yeah, it was just an incredible opportunity, and I guess I took it, and it just sailed in. I was like, "Dang!" I was just in a surreal moment, and I think Luca was like, he did that to me this year. He's like, "Celebrate with the fans, celebrate with the fans." I said, "Oh shoot, okay, yeah." So that's why I was pushed over, and I started celebrating with the team, and it was really, really cool. It was really good opportunity and really a fun time.
Yeah, and to have such a high, and then after the game, I imagine the adrenaline wears out, and sort of your body starts to recover and settle down, and you feel this sort of injury in your thigh, and something doesn't feel quite right, I imagine, in yourself. What were those hours, initial days like after the game to sort of diagnose the injury and sort of processing that?
Yeah, it was a really tough time for me. I can't, sugarcoat it because it was my first big injury. I had a lot of support, but I had I just kept my faith. I kept praying. I kept working hard, trying to reach out to the right people, and get the right, direction to what I needed to do. And I went with what I thought was best, and just never looked back, and did what I had to do. And I knew I had to come back stronger, come back smarter, and be a little bit more proactive with a lot of things. So just very thankful that it woke me up a little bit in what I needed to do, and just thankful that I recovered well, and that I'm able to play this beautiful game and help the team the best way this season.
Yeah, as you say, you learned a lot from that experience, and everyone at the club rallied around you and sort of kept you part of the team, because it was a really important time for the team as well, wasn't it, at that point? We were sort of fighting for the playoffs and potentially even automatics at that point. So a really crucial time to sort of miss out on. Was that a real big sort of frustration for you that you couldn't, because we know that you're such a big part of a team and you enjoy the camaraderie. Was that a real difficult thing for you to process, that you wasn't going to be part of that sort of on the pitch?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I knew I felt bad. I felt like I let the team down. A lot of things were going through my head. But at the end of the day, what happened happened. But I knew I could contribute the best way I could as a leader, as someone to support the team through that time. And I was trying to stay as positive as possible to get the team where they needed to be, whether that was influence off the field, whether that was coaching, whether that was, just encouraging as well. And, they really appreciated, my support with how they were going into the playoffs. And, I wanted the best for the guys. And, I'm very happy that most of the guys kick on and are doing really well at other clubs. It was just good to see that, a lot of them went on to do really well as well. So that's a big thing for me to see. But I was just, very thankful that I was able to be on that team last season and see so much growth, so much, different players and how they carry themselves, and just a great learning experience within themselves. So hopefully I can lead by example the best way I can this season, and hopefully we can make it special again.
A period for you then to, as we've mentioned, learn a lot about yourself and reflect and sort of take stock of what you've achieved so far in your time in England, in the short time you've had playing, admittedly, but it was also a time I imagined that you could sort of recharge and visit family again, because since joining in the January, you hadn't been home. I imagine you hadn't really had a chance to sort of properly spend time with your family. So I imagine it was really nice, although you're injured, to sort of take that time to see your family, because in your opening interview you said about your family being really important and home being a big part of who you are. So nice then to sort of reconnect with them.
Yeah. They were. I mean, it was. I think that's life. Within itself. I was. Coming over here. I said. I really wanted to play over here, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and you got to do it for your family and your future, and what you want for yourself as a person. So I think it was just growth, and I think I grew a lot this past year, this past season, and that's what I really wanted to do for myself, and as well as just prove people wrong, and also see that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it, right? And I knew, my family trusted me, and I trust them so much, and I really appreciate that they supported me with this decision. So I knew I had to sacrifice some time, but I know I'll get it right back when I come back and in return, because that's how life goes. So you make the sacrifices, but in the end, it's for a good reason, and you'll get rewarded for that.
Yeah, and then pre-season comes around, you're back training with the lads. It's obviously a fresh start, another campaign to tackle, positive mindset going into that one when we caught up with you in the summer, of course. But nice then, I imagine, after the setback to sort of be back in the team almost straight away and get a goal, of course. He scored in the cup tie against Wigan.
That's right.
So obviously I think it was the second game of the season, so a quick start to that season, and then coincided as well with Gaga's debut. So a really good day for the Americans at Barnsley.
That was a really good day. It was really fun to have him with us and enjoy a lot of time spent outside the field, and having him on the field is just a blessing within itself. So I was just really happy to have him in the goal, and he was able to save the winning penalty and help us get to the next round, and that was awesome. As a player, as a friend for him, and seeing him do really well. So I was buzzing for him when I was taking off, and I was like, "Oh, Gaga's got this. He's gonna do it." And he did it for us that day. So I'm really happy for him, and can't wait to see what he does in the future.
Yeah, and how important was that for you to have your fellow American join the team, because you've experienced it where you've come across and been on your own and having to make friends and deal with that. I know it's slightly different for Gaga because he's been in England a little bit with Chelsea, but was it nice for both of you, I imagine, to have that somebody who's got a common sort of experience in coming from America to play in England?
Yeah, I think he knew actually probably a lot more than I feel like I did in the European and English experience. So he taught me a lot. I taught him a little bit of things too, but I feel like we feeded off each other's energy, understanding of the game, and relationship as well, because we really enjoyed playing with each other on the field, and as well as hanging off the field. So it was really cool to just have him here at Barnsley, and just have a really good time with each other, on and off the field, and a good friendship as well that will rekindle in the future.
Yeah, and then sort of looking at this campaign further on, we've sort of got another goal against Crawley Town away in a 3-0 win, a good result for on the road, and then obviously results in between, and then a goal most recently against Peterborough away, a really rewarding festive period, I imagine, to be a part of, confidence flowing through the squad. We'll come on to sort of your first festive period in football in a short while, but just talk about that goal against Peterborough, because a tough game, playing on the 29th. We've just played on Boxing Day. We've got another game to come against Wrexham, which will be really demanding. Just sort of how good was that win, and nice to score again, I imagine.
Yeah, okay, I guess we'll start. Yes, the Peterborough game. Yeah, it was good to be a part of that game. Really fun game. We played within ourselves that game, but I was just really happy to be able to score again. I mean, I felt like in the moment, when Davis had all that stuff going on in the box, and then I felt like just stand where you are, and felt I was told to do that for some reason, and I just stayed, and then I just took the shot, and then boom, went in the corner, and I was like, dang, I did it. And then, I just was just so grateful, and I just had to stand there, and I just said, wow, that's amazing. So just thankful for all the blessings I'm getting, and doing the work, and seeing the rewards as well, and seeing my team also do well as a team whole, and players doing really well, scoring, playing, staying consistent, and it's just really cool to see how we're growing as a team and as a collective unit. And I feel like we're coming together really well this later half of the season. From that big festive period, because that was a lot of games, man. I was shocked how many games we played in succession, and my body was like, okay, we got another one in 3 days. We got another one in 3 days. So it's a lot, on the body, but I was doing a lot to, make my body feel good, the right things, and staying consistent with my program. So I was really happy to do well and finish out strong during that festive, relentless period of games.
And we saw on Instagram that you spent Christmas Day with Barry. Went on a little run. How was your first Christmas in England?
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. So we had to do a run in the morning to keep fit. So we had to do that. So me and Barry were running around Barnsley in town, just just staying fit, just enjoying the time, saying Merry Christmas to everybody. I was wearing my hat, just running and just being jolly. And so that was really fun. And then we went to John Russell and his Mrs. Amira, their place. And it was really good to have, I made some, banana bread. We got some snacks. I had a good time. We watched some movies, played some games, and, just had a good time. Had some really good food that they cooked for us. And it was just really good to share, our times this season and fellowship and just enjoying, with friends and most importantly, family, so it was really good to spend time with them, and really it was a good time, a good Christmas.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice as well that you sort of can feel that you can go to John's house and sort of spend time with Barry as well, because, despite you being teammates, when you're in this building, it's nice that you've also got that relationship where you can sort of spend time outside of this building as well.
Yeah, that's huge. That's important. You got to be able to, find the right friends, right people, right? And, you got to switch off. But, you have to make sure you trust them and they're leading down a good path, and make sure they hold you accountable with what you're doing. So I think I found some good people around me that care about me and how I'm doing and supporting me in my endeavors. So it's good to, encourage them and help them as well. So I think we got a good, friendship going, and just really happy that, we're all doing well personally at the end of the day.
Back to matters on the pitch then. We've discussed your goals, of course, during this interview, and just looking at your stats, the goal record is pretty good, isn't it, in terms of goals per minute for a centre back? You're not sort of in attacking positions a lot, but from set pieces and from attacking play, you're really sort of causing problems in the box, both with your feet and with your head. Mm-hmm. Is it something throughout your career that you've sort of aimed to do? Or is it just a byproduct of how you play the game?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think, of course, I want to be a pivotal player, whether that's defensively or offensively, and just try to make something happen as best as I can, whether that's being a decoy, being a target man, or just creating havoc, right? So, anything that I can do to help the team, that's great. So things just happen, and I'm just thankful that I can be on the right side of the ball, and having the favor go in our interest and our best interest. So just very, very thankful that I can give them these opportunities and these goals that come with it.
And in terms of especially the Peterborough one, because people may see your size and think, oh, well, he'll score headers every game, but you have scored a lot of headers. But even with your feet, we saw the Bolton goal as well, and more recently the Peterborough goal. That's a very tough finish, for a centre back. They're not known for their ability to score goals with the feet, but they're both very good goals. Is it something that you're not practicing, but is it something you've always been sort of good at with your feet shooting, or is it just a case of it's just really gone well whilst you've been here?
I don't know. I think it's things. I couldn't tell you, man. I think I just try to take my moment and try to take it with a grain of salt and try to do the best I can to put it on target, right? But I've noticed the keepers are really good in this league, so I'm very amazed that I can, get these goals against them. And I was just very thankful that I'm able to score and contribute the best way I can. And just really cool. Very, very thankful.
Very good. So looking forward then, as you've sort of touched on right now, the team are in a good place. Won a few on the bounce now. Confidence and the spirit is really high. Just sort of talk us through the coming months, because we're on the cusp of the sort of business end of the season now. The remaining few months of the season are upon us. Just discuss how the lads are and how it is to be part of the team, and how you've sort of developed since the start of the season in July or August.
I think we of course we go through some ups and downs, but everyone was going through something, and we just gotta stay positive through it, right? So it's gonna be another tough period. We gotta stay focused, keep doing the little things, keep doing things that got us to this point, and just be ready for what's coming. And hopefully we can all do our jobs and just focus on ourselves, and I think everything will play out for the right reasons. So that's all I can really say at this moment.
And to finish the interview, just for you personally, how do you sort of improve on last season, and what do you see as your goals for the last few months?
Oof. Personally, I think just doing my best to help the team, right? And, stay as healthy as possible and just do the best I can to contribute. And if I can do that, then I feel like I'm doing my job to the best of my ability. And that's all I can really ask of myself. So just be ready when I'm called upon, and just stay ready for what the game brings. And that's all I can really ask myself.
Well, Donny, it's been a fantastic year for your first year at Barnsley.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope the next year is just as good
Yeah.
for yourself and the team. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's first start by taking a look back at our opening games of 2025.
This week or so has been excellent, especially with a lot of lads picking up injury, coming back from injuries, viruses in the camp. The boys give me absolutely everything, and it's been a bit real positive 3 games, but more so to give our own fans that positive start to the new year. They've backed us in the numbers today. They've come out and obviously spent a lot of money over the Christmas period, and today they've come out and backed us, and I thank them very much for that. Like I keep saying, hopefully we can give them a better 25 at home.
Yeah, really positive. We've had a few good results lately, but every game's new, so we've got to go into this one with a fresh mind, but everyone's positive and everyone's happy.
In what has been an excellent performance, a brilliant, composed, professional performance that has seen some fantastic attacking football at times. Barnsley make it 4 wins in 4, more importantly, make it 2 consecutive wins at home to start 2025.
So Callum, what did you make of the first win of 2025 against Wrexham? Obviously it was a great atmosphere and I would describe the crowd as electric. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it was fantastic, wasn't it? It was a great win. First of all, at home, you know, that's the main thing. Obviously, the home form is something that, in particular, the players, the staff, the coaching staff, the manager wanted to improve, and that's exactly what they've done there. They've started 2025 off in a brilliant way at home with that victory against Wrexham, who are high-flying. You know, they obviously got the whole story surrounding them, backed by plenty of money as well, got a really good team and riding a wave at the moment, aren't they, Wrexham? So they're always a difficult team to come up against. Barnsley obviously played them in the reverse fixture not so long ago, to be fair, and that was a difficult game. And again, it was a difficult game at Oakwell, but the character that the Reds displayed was fantastic for me. Something that I think will go a long way in improving the squad, confidence-wise, and performance-wise throughout the rest of the season. The first half, they were fantastic. Really, really fantastic. They got the press perfect. And I think Wrexham really, really struggled to deal with that as well, to be honest.
Absolutely. They definitely frustrated them,
Yeah.
we felt, which is a different approach, right, to what we've seen in previous games. What do you reckon to that?
Yeah, well, look, I think they're just took the game to Wrexham pretty much. You know, obviously they're coming to Oakwell as a team higher up in the league, and again that home form wasn't particularly the best for Barnsley, but that's sort of been forgotten about, and the Reds just went into that game, totally took the game to them. It didn't really focus on the opposition that they were playing. Sort of they weren't daunted by the task of playing a team higher up in the division or anything like that, or the run that Wrexham were on, or they certainly looked like they were out there ready to get revenge for the 1-0 defeat, the other week sort of thing. So really good performance. As I said, really strong first half performance. The Reds got 2 goals, went 2 goals up, and they were fantastic. Could have had a few more actually in the first half and made it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Davies Keeler done a wonderful finish, cut inside on his right foot, found the far right bottom corner, which we've seen him do quite a lot, particularly recently. And then Adam Phillips, I mean, Waters made the goal fantastically for him. You know, sort
Wonderful
of
assist,
ran,
yeah.
exactly, ran half the length of the pitch, cut back, picks out Adam Phillips, and he finds the top left corner, should I say? So 2 really, really good goals, a fantastic first half, and then in the second half, it was sort of the flip side to that in terms of Barnsley were great going forward in the first half. Similarly, they were great defensively in the second half,
which was the key. It's maybe what we were missing in retrospect before. You know, they managed to hold their own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think Luke O'Connell after the game said in certain circumstances earlier on in the season we might have gone into that game and maybe conceded a goal or 2 more in those late stages.
Yeah.
But it's a real testament to the team, credit to the team, that showing that character and confidence as well to have that belief to get over the line, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, Ben Killip late in that game in the second half,
I know.
absolutely fantastic.
Again against Crawley as well.
Yeah,
Really.
100%. He's been brilliant recently, hasn't he? And particularly that second half against Wrexham, they had quite a few chances late on, didn't they? And he just stood tall, answered every single question that came to him, and made some brilliant saves. And not single-handedly won us the points, obviously, because it was a team effort and a fantastic team performance, but his performance went a long, long way to getting Barnsley over the line. So that was a brilliant performance, yeah, for several reasons, but I almost liked the way that it went in terms of it being that battling sort of performance and getting over the line. And I think, particularly at home, that will go a long way in just giving the players that belief that they can get over the line in them sort of circumstances, and they did it, and it was great.
Absolutely, you touched on it there, that improving that home form. Obviously, it's been a difficult run if you look at the stats. We've been a lot better away. So do you think that that's kind of the end of the Oakwell curse, per se, now?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Julianne mentioned that on Twitter, so I thought I'd mention it. But yeah, it felt like the Barnsley... I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
As a fan.
Yeah, of course. And look, 2024, obviously, the home form, for whatever reason, over the course of 2 seasons, just didn't quite click, really, did it? At Oakwell, did it? And hopefully, that's behind us now in 2024. And the only way that we can put that behind us is by winning football matches. And Barnsley have done that so far. In the 2 games that we've had at home, obviously, we've got the 3 points in both of them. So we can't complain at that. I think Darryl Clark's mentioned this in post-match interviews, that there's no reason to get carried away. You know, that's not the job finished. That's not the issues at home fixed. It's 2 wins, and that's simply what it is.
Keep it up.
Correct, yeah. There's more work to do, of course. Nobody needs to get carried away. However, with what's been in front of us at Oakwell so far this season, we've got the points, haven't we? So hopefully that continues.
Absolutely, and we touched on it there about Crawley. Any kind of thoughts around that? Obviously, we mentioned Ben Killip. It was so good to keep a clean sheet. And it felt like, again, a great performance, even when it was such a busy week for them, tough on the legs. What do you think?
Yeah, same again, fantastic. And they were really good for different reasons, those 2 games. Obviously, we mentioned the Wrexham one and how they were battling, but Crawley was a really comfortable one, really comfortable performance, dominant performance, really. But those can almost be a little bit more difficult. So if you look at the first half, for example, Barnsley go 1-0 up, really, really controlled. Crawley didn't really do too much to trouble Barnsley. The goal that Barnsley scored in the first half, where Russell finished it off, wonderful. Wakali switch of play, O'Keefe picks out Russell, and then he finds the bottom corner. It's absolutely fantastic sort of team goal, back to front, where the Reds had punished the opposition, who gave the ball away from the goal kick, I think it was, and Barnsley turned that, winning the ball back into a goal. So yeah, really good all round. But again, I think Darryl Clark mentioned this, that at half time he was just wanting that little bit more, despite the performance being brilliant. It was just that little bit too comfortable, and being 1-0 up in a game like that where you are dominant, you are on top, being at 1-0 up, it's still that little bit of caution, isn't it?
Yeah,
because the
you don't
other
want to
team,
take your eye off the ball.
Absolutely.
And, that's one thing Darryl's kind of instills in them, it seems. I know you had an interview with him afterwards. He mentioned something about the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And obviously, we were all on the edge of our seats, hoping that, we didn't concede a goal, but it didn't happen. And obviously, that's a really positive thing.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like you say, it's something that Clark has certainly instilled in them, that focus, and to stay on it throughout the whole game. And like I said, he sort of asked the question at half-time that despite the performance being fantastic, we need to get more goals here, because a one-goal lead in a game like that, a team maybe a little bit lower down in the league table, they might get a set piece, all of a sudden it's 1-1, they have something to defend, and it's a really difficult then second 45 minutes or end to the game. They've come out in the second half, and whatever he has said in the changing room at half-time has worked to a T.
Due to weather permitting reasons, the game is unfortunately cancelled on Saturday against Northampton, and this will be a rearranged fixture. But for now, we look to Bristol Rovers the week after. So, of course, thank you so much for tuning in to the Oakwell update. It's been great to be back in 2025. I've been Holly Tandy.
I've been Callum Cooper.
And we'll see you next week.